Hello, Bob. We've got Bob in the house. My first ever live stream on this Roar channel. I'm so excited about it. And we have Lila here, the traveling adventure cat. Not sure she's a fan of it all that much, but yeah, she's hanging out. She's been really good. How is everybody out there today? Who else do we have in the house? Anybody? I am currently in, I would say, no, I think I'm in actually Virgin, Utah. Yep, we have one of those towns. You're caught, Lila. Virgin, Utah, just outside of Hurricane, pronounced Hurricane, Utah. What's up, Sooner? It's good to see you too. Thanks for showing up. So when you don't have a certain number of subscribers on a new channel, you can't do a live stream from your phone, but you can actually do a live stream from your computer using a webcam. So I am using my webcam on my Dell is down low. So I'm using my GoPro as the webcam. And then Bob, you could do a live stream if you wanted. YouTube has lowered the requirements for 50 subscribers. If you have 50 subscribers, then you can do a live stream via your phone, which would be good. So, Donnie T, hey, thank you for coming, you guys. That is so great. Where's my wrench? Yeah, I don't know if we'll need it so far, Bob. And I made this live stream. If people wanted to chat, they need to subscribe to me. You guys might have noticed that. So that should help. I should probably, not that I have a lot of viewers on my other channel, my vlog channel, we'll call it. People are pretty well in line. But yes, Bob, I am in a tiny house located in Virgin, Utah, which I am 10 minutes from Colorado City in Arizona. So really just less than 10 minutes to get to the border of Arizona. And I found this location as I was driving around looking for land to put my own tiny house on. I'm not going to be building a tiny house myself, but I am going to be purchasing one called a boxable. For those of you who are not familiar, I have another channel. It's called Rachel in Real Life, and I've had that for a few years. So I started this channel for reviews only. So there's kind of some overlap, but that's what I'm referring to when I talk about looking for land. All those type of vlog videos are on the Rachel in Real Life channel. So that's what I've been doing lately, is looking for land, and I've been snowed out of looking for land. Oh, thanks, Sooner. Sooner loved my brother's puppies. They are, yeah, Penny makes up for beauty in what she is lacking in obedience. And Beta, he is just the sweetest boy. What I love about him, he's big, he's so kind, and he doesn't lick. He has never been a licking dog. So that's great. So while I was trying to find property to look at through Zillow in this area that I was looking, and that is why I want to find property in the southern Utah area, because it's around such great recreation. You've got national parks, national forests, national monuments. Utah is like just a big, huge national park. It's so incredible. And so this area is highly populated with a lot of those things. And as I was looking around on the Google Maps land from the properties on Zillow, I saw all these little resorts that were popping up. And one of them, it caught my eye, and I've been trying to find it ever since. Maybe I could go into my browsing history, because I looked to see if I could book it, and it's completely booked out until March. And it is total outdoor living. It's got a patio and fire pit, and it looks incredible. And it is a place that I definitely want to stay. So I found this place. It's called Tiny. there's so many tiny Zion, this Zion tiny, Zion tiny. There's a lot of the same things. So Zion's Tiny Getaway. That is where I am. Shyby, hello. Thank you for being here. Trying to figure out how to create a second YouTube channel. I'm having a very hard time trying to figure it out. Lila is doing great. Thank you so much. I will agree with you that YouTube is not very user friendly because you've got like a branding account. So you could create another channel under your existing email that you log into called a brand account. So if you search YouTube for a brand account, I would recommend doing that. Yeah, Lila's doing great. She's not escaped my clutches. So that's been great. She has no idea. She's like, what are you doing with me? Where are we going? All these crazy places in this tiny house now. I'm in this car. I have a different view every day almost. So she's being a very good sport. Shyby, my dog that I had to put down a few months ago, had a food bowl just like the yellow one. Oh, for my brother's dogs. Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't sure. I just happened to find that food. That was the first day we got there. And Penny, if you notice, my brother has 2 Doberman pinchers, and I basically was camping with them by myself. So Penny, she is a garbage disposal. She just eats anything and everything. So, okay. So I had found another property called Zion's Tiny Oasis. I saw that on TikTok and I wanted to stay there, but then I looked at the prices, and I think the cheapest one that I found at the time was $350 all the way up to $900, and I was like, wow. So I chose this one because the prices looked really great and they had availability right away. It's probably the off season, I would say, here, even though I would think that, because I'm just outside of Hurricane and I've never been to Hurricane except for just recently. And I'm kind of sad to say that I haven't been here. It's a really beautiful, beautiful place. In the summer, it's got to be horribly hot, but there is a lot to do here. Tons of recreation, beautiful scenery, and there are just a lot of little places to stay like this. There's hotels and RV lots that you can rent out a space, but this is located in Virgin, Utah, which is just outside of Hurricane. I think it took me about 10 to 15 minutes to get here. So the proximity to a city and to a Walmart and all that is great here. And then also with the recreation. Yes, don't ask Bob. You are much more kind than me. I'm sorry, Shyby. I am so sorry. Yes, I am sorry to hear about your dog. That just like went right over. I have so many things on my mind right now. So I apologize for my lack of empathy. And I am sorry to hear about your dog. Okay, the connection. Hopefully the connection's okay, and you guys can hear me okay. I tested all this yesterday. So hopefully we're doing okay in that aspect. I am curious to know from you guys. I'm just coming at this from a regular consumer. I've never stayed in one of these kind of tiny house resorts. I don't even know if I've been inside of a tiny house. And so there's things that I would look for, but I am curious for purposes of reviews, what type of things would you guys look for if you were to look to stay at a tiny house resort location? Could it be proximity to restaurants and grocery stores and recreation, or would your focus be more on the actual accommodations themselves and what kind of amenities they have, or how far away from civilization, would they be? What type of things would you guys look for? I'm just curious to know, because when I go do my reviews, I'm thinking of having certain a rating scale for certain things. So the accommodations, recreation nearby would be another rating, separate rating, and also stores and restaurants would be another one. So it could be based on, so I could kind of narrow it down more for people who are looking for certain things. So I'm curious to know from other regular people just like myself, and some advice, like what would you guys be interested in having? Because I think a lot of my viewers who watch my vlog channel, they're into the outdoors, and so they're kind of looking for similar things that I would be. But I would love to know what you guys are looking for. Yes, in general, Bob. Hey, Tess, thanks for coming. Shaibi, I'm very familiar with Zion. Yes, Zion, man, it is so incredible. There's a lot of developments even that I drove by in Hurricane that are going up. So, oh, wow. Okay. That's really cool to have family friends here. Tess, okay. Well, congratulations for being done with school. That's wonderful. And I bet you're excited for May to come around. No. So, Bob, yeah, not in a property, just as in terms of a vacation. What would you look for if you were to look for a place to stay? I understand there's people who are only going to stay in their car or their tent or their RV. Like me, that's what I would do. But because I have this review channel now, I'm interested in stepping outside of what I normally would stay in, and that is traveling. So my plan is to not only look at like tiny houses, but there's also yurts available, stuff that has to do with the outdoors. And as I was thinking about what to really pay attention to for my overall review, I thought, it would probably be useful to just get other people's idea of what they might look for in a vacation property like this. It's outdoor, that's like near national parks. What would you guys be interested in? If I'm making any sense. Seclusion. Okay. I will say that this company, this business where I am, Zion's Tiny Getaway, has, and that's how I first found it, is because their off-grid location was near the other properties I was looking at to buy. However, when I went to book it, and granted it's winter time, so I couldn't find where there was a place to book the off-grid locations versus the on-site locations. And so when I was booking, I just booked on-site, like in this community, which is fine. But for me personally, I would, like Bob, I would also like more privacy. And I just don't think that they have the off-grid available right now. But this is a really good way for me to dip my toes into this whole tiny house setup, because I can really see what I want and don't want. Because you might have seen, like me, many tiny house tours on YouTube, and they look so amazing and incredible. But I tell you what, when you're in them and you're using those ladders to climb up to the bed and it's real sketchy and you're afraid you're going to fall, it's a different story. It's a different story. Okay. Shaibi really wants a tiny house. Would love to be out in the great outdoors with like a store within 10 or so miles. Yes. Yeah. Like even because the places I'm looking, a bigger city, at least within Ace Hardware, they don't really even have a Home Depot. They're about 20 minutes from the properties that I've been looking for. But I agree, I would at least want some convenience, especially for a hospital, to have a hospital nearby just in case I decide to slice my finger again, because I do that all the time. Sooner. My wife retires in 15 months and we bought a fifth wheel to live and travel in. Okay, so sooner. It sounds like you are like somebody like me who just travels with what you have. What about your fifth wheel was it that you and your wife, that appealed to you and your wife? Why did you go with the fifth wheel that you went with? And on top of that, because even though it's a fifth wheel, maybe it will help me see what people are looking for who do travel to go see beautiful places. Where do you plan on staying? Where do you plan on visiting? Like staying as in terms of overnight, and where would you want to visit? What are your travel itineraries? National parks, forests, the West? I'm curious to know. So Bob would like power and water as a bonus. Okay. Yep, absolutely. This property, it is called the Suncatcher. No. I was supposed to stay in the Suncatcher. So in my video, you'll get a twofer tour. They had an issue with the first property. And so I'm actually in a different property than what I was supposed to stay in. And that property I was going to stay in, I believe, was 250 square feet. This one, I'm not sure how big it is, but it is a little bigger than the other one. And if it were light outside, I would at least show you the outside. It's in a community. So there are multiple tiny houses. Like the other one is probably 15 or 20 feet away. It's just right there. And then they each have their own little driveway. And then a lot of them also have a little deck with a grill and some patio furniture. And it looks like this property is kind of up and coming. There's 10 or 15 tiny houses here. There's a lot more pads, though, that are ready to have a tiny house put on them. And also, from what I read on their website, is that they sell these and they start at $60,000. And having stayed in one of these, I will say, and it's not just because of this builder or anything. And I don't know, maybe I can't say that all of these tiny houses are the same, but to me, it would seem like they would have very similar insulation problems. But the climate in here is very different. The insulation is not adequate for like just consistency throughout the whole tiny house. Certain areas. So I'm up on this upper living room level, and then right below, there's probably about a 4-foot basement, like a space under there with 2 beds in it, and that area is freezing. And then the upper area above the bathroom, let me see if I can show you. I'll give you a sneak peek of the upper area really quick. Okay, so you can kind of see there. I'm not going to show you everything. You have to wait for the review. But you can kind of see there how that bed is up there, and the ladder to get up there is very scary. So it's actually cold up there, and they don't have enough blankets. So, and these are all things that I'm going to be factoring into my review of it. Overall, I think it's good. If this is something that you're looking for, overall, it is going to be a positive rating, but there are going to be some points that for me that I would think could be better. Tess, I currently am living in northern Utah in my mother's basement. But now I'm traveling on the road because my overall goal is to find land to buy and to put my own tiny house on it, which will be a boxable. And speaking of the boxable, it makes me a lot more excited having been in here and stayed in here with the variations in the temperature. I'm just thinking that the boxable, the inside is just, it's going to be so much better insulated. And yeah, because this is a trailer, it can be towed. I mean, when you're on the floor. So last night when I was going to get ready for bed and I walked down the stairs here, and I was standing on the floor. Whoa, it was cold because you've got all that underground. You're on some tires or whatever they have. I can't see because they have some siding stuff around the base, but it's cold right there. Very cold. Okay. Don't ask. Would want 20 acres. Yeah, that would be nice. Sooner. Felt more like a home. Okay. Separate living room in the rear, a fireplace, both electric and gas heat, an air and water heater. We plan on BLM lands, okay, or other public lands mostly. Snowbirds. All right. Very good to know. So a lot of people like the modern conveniences, climate control and water and power and all that stuff. And that is something, if you're looking to stay at a resort like this, those are things that you would most likely want. We also got a 4th season, so it's very well. Oh, insulated. That's great. That's very good. No, it's just a driveway. It's not even a carport, because even though there's some snow here right now, and I had to shovel off the deck, both of the houses that I went to, there was snow on the patio, and the decking is that fake decking that's like slick, and it looks like wood. It's very durable and long lasting, and I think that's why they chose it. But man, in the snow, it's slippery, and I was shoveling it with my Rescue Me 5-in-1 tool. That's something that, even though they don't get a lot of snow here, I mean, when there's snowfall, they could at least clear the pathways or provide a shovel or something, because I was slipping over at the other house. Yeah, the West does have a ton of BLM land. And just before this, I did stay on some BLM land. And then right before that, I had stayed in a campground. I was staying in a state park campground, which was interesting too. I just know that I really do not like to have neighbors at all. And it's nice because here it's not fully developed yet, and it's winter time, so not all of these tiny houses are full. So I really appreciate that. But in the summertime, I would not like to stay here because there's just people everywhere. Some people like that community feel. I don't like it because everybody's watching everybody. I do it too. It's just not something I would be interested in. So I would like to do the off-grid property. 12 inches of snow oh my gosh, in northern Utah. Yeah, I am very good. I am no thank you. The beauty of RV is when the power goes out, everything but the microwave and the TV still work. Because you have the propane, right, Bob? These tiny houses, they run off of, they have this city water. It's I think they said a well. And then they have heat. They have propane. That must be for the heat. Zion, it says here in their little booklet that it is 45 minutes away from here. Yeah, there's lots to do. Biking, hiking, restaurants, off-roading. Yep, stargazing. It's beautiful here. And then there are a couple of the lakes. There's the Sand Hollow Reservoir and then the Quell. And that's where I stayed, and I can't ever get the name right. Quell State Reservoir, something. Anyway, there's some water, some lakes here. And yeah, so the well water, it runs, where is it? Okay, the water's from a local well and is the same water that all local residents use. We're in a remote location, so use it sparingly. And then on rare occasions, the water may appear brown or orange. And for me, it has appeared that way the entire time, like to the point where the color of it looks like I haven't flushed the toilet. TMI, TMI. But it's not, it's just the water that they have. So I've been drinking my own water from my car. It doesn't taste differently, but you know, sometimes you just can't get past the way things look, even though they taste fine. So they say that the well water, it's due to sediments that build up in the well and in the water lines. Most cases, it is iron or manganese, and is harmless. And as an added safety measure, we use a water filter on each tiny home. So that's good. AKA rust. Really? You think, Bob? The lights don't even flicker? So what are you using for lights when the power goes out? Propane, heat, hot water, and even the fridge. Okay. Very cool. Yeah. Who else do we have in the house? Tess, you're Colorado. Let me ask you, if you were to choose to stay in a cute little tiny house resort, what kind of things, what would be your must-haves? Would it be a washing machine? Because some of these units that I've seen from their website have a washing machine in it. It's a combo unit. So what are some of your must-haves? Like this big trailer over here, tiny house, it has a hot tub on the porch, on the deck patio. There's a hot tub over there. So maybe you would require a hot tub. Maybe you would require a deck. Maybe you would require multiple beds. What tests are some things that you would really like to have if you were to stay in a tiny house location? Bob says, all my lighting is 12 volt. Oh, okay. That's nice. And 12 volt is more efficient, right? Much more efficient. Okay, Lila, let's see here. I will say also some props to this tiny house are that the bathroom is very well stocked with towels, linens, and then they do have some shampoo, conditioner, and some body wash. The kitchen, I've been really impressed with, not that I really want to use it, but they have plenty of cooking utensils and silverware and bowls and pots. And they even have some spices and some sugar and coffee filters. So I've been impressed with their kitchens and how well stocked up they are. So that's been a nice surprise. We have a washer and dryer. Wow. You have a washer dryer in your fifth wheel? $16. Yeah, that's awesome. My power bill I mean, really most of the places I've lived over the winter, because I rarely turn the heat on, it's like $26. I think the cheapest it ever was one year was $26. But then now that I'm older, I do not mess around with heat in the summertime. I used to suffer through it, but no, I'll pay the bill. I cannot sleep hot. Let's see here. 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Okay. Are there any other questions you guys would like to know about this channel and what I'm doing on this live stream? It really is my off week because I do the live stream on my other channel every other Thursday. So I will have a live stream on that channel next week for sure. And depends on, I was thinking about doing a bonus one in between them sometime, but I'm not sure. So we'll see about that. Power bill is higher in the summer from the AC running. Yeah, I would imagine. I think that the insulation for an RV, a fifth wheel, well, except Sooner said his is a 4-season. Is Bob, is yours a 4-season? And Sooner, do you have slides? Man, a fifth wheel, that is a lot to tow around. That is a lot. So, really quick, I will just mention what I have on the agenda. I have purchased a tiny little space heater that I want to do a review on for a car. I know that space heaters are not efficient, and I did use one while I was living in my car, but that was with my smaller battery. And I noticed with Lila's heating pads, the heating pads don't work as well on that battery, but they work much better on my energy. So I have this other tiny little space heater I want to try out and see how that goes. So I'll have that as a review. And Sooner has 3 slides. Tess, I would have in our bathroom, kitchen, living room, and windows. Yes. Oh, thank you, Tess. That's actually one thing that I really have loved, both in the initial tiny house that I was supposed to stay in and this one. There are skylights, and it is, let me see if I can tell you up really quick. Maybe you can see Lila. Can you see Lila right here? Yeah, there's Lila. She looks like a little cow. The lighting, it's nice. And there's a skylight over the bed, but it's at the feet. And then the light over the bed is right in your face. It's above the pillow. So, but that's something I really do enjoy, is just bright, bright, bright. So that's been nice. No 4-season for Bob. Okay. Don't ask. Space heater has been on for a few days, but that's okay. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So my space heater, smallest one I could find at Walmart currently, it's 400 watts. And just to turn it on for a few minutes and see how well it does, I'm curious to see that, because with Lila, I can't use a flame. I did turn my stove on once, and she was like, "Ooh, what is that?" I was like, "Lila, stay away, stay away," because she would be very, very flammable. Yes, I'm talking about you. And for safety, I don't want to mess with that. But she's finally discovered not that she didn't know about it, but she's realizing if she's laying on her heating pad that it will be warm. So she's finally discovered that. And I think I will also do a review on the heating pad for another way to stay warm, living or camping in a vehicle. That is a good option. And then a few other things. Yeah, the pie iron stuff, that will be coming up. But my full review of this location will probably be posted in a few days or so. We'll see. So what I'll be doing after I leave here, because my final day is tomorrow. The initial tiny house cost me $155 a night. And as I was looking them up, I went to their Instagram to see if they had any pictures, and they were offering a discount, which brought it down to $131 a night. So with what you get as far as a whole kitchen and being able to cook and some outside living, that seems pretty nice. I don't know what the prices of the hotels are, but it's much cheaper than that tiny Oasis. And then this tiny house I'm in right now, it is $165 a night. So I got a little bit of an upgrade, which was good. Sooner, Rachel, do you use a shower bag when camping in your car or go to gyms? I do have a shower. It's a Nemo shower pump bag. It's black, and you sit it out in the sun, and then it warms up beautifully. And I did not bring that because I'm not trying to shower in the cold, and I wasn't sure how warm Texas would be. So I just left that back, but I do have an Anytime Fitness membership. And so I did shower there, and Lila came with me. That video will be on my vlog channel. She wasn't in the shower with me, okay, but she was in the room. And then I can also use military bases, installations as well. And then there's truck stops. And then another thing, some of the state parks in Utah have showers as well. So that is helpful. So there's options for showers. But yeah, and then carrying all that water around, water is heavy, heavy, heavy. So it's almost better to just find a place to shower. So I will be leaving here tomorrow. I would like to try to go visit a couple properties that I have found actually in Orderville, Utah. It's an incredibly beautiful location, and I knew about it before, but I didn't consider it because it is expensive. So all of the properties I'd look at to buy for my own tiny house are either way, way, way off grid, and they definitely don't have seasonal. They have seasonal access. You know, they are just total rough dirt and they are out there. Or there's other options for more expensive that have all the power and water and stuff ready to go. And then they have some HOAs, and it's tough because there's not a ton of land available in Utah, and my focus is still on Utah. I will probably open up a little bit more to northern Arizona, expanding my search into that, only because the options where I would like aren't there. But then I thought maybe I will change my whole mindset, and I'll do a separate live stream about this. I don't want to delve too deep into that on this channel. But just keeping you aware of what's happening is I'm going to go look at some places that I didn't consider before. They do have an HOA, you know, but there's also, along with it, some really good investment potential there. Whereas the properties I have looked at, it's like I buy and I'm not really going to move. Like, I'm not making a whole lot of money versus like the real estate that I have now, I am making money on, and I don't want to. Anyway, we'll get into it later. And then I'll probably head to Vegas so that I can see, maybe this weekend, I'll look at the weather so I can go to Boxable next week because they're closed on the weekends, and then head to Texas. That is the plan. That is the plan. I've hiked in Orderville. It was amazing. Yeah, so Shaibi knows Orderville. It is so beautiful. It's in the Mount Carmel area, and that place is gorgeous and super expensive. But the proximity to stores and restaurants and things isn't like this. So this tiny house resort I'm in right now, this on-grid one, it's in a neighborhood. It's kind of weird. It's in a neighborhood, like a regular neighborhood, and then this section are these tiny houses. So the zoning must be very interesting here. But we're right off of the highway, and that's been very noisy. So yeah, all things to consider. But I think that will be all for this first Rachel's Outdoor Adventure Reviews. That's a mouthful. Live stream. We'll see if I do any more live streams on this channel, if they're applicable or not. I do not know. Maybe some live streams where I'm actually using product in real time and interact with you guys. What would you guys say to that? Or what would be some things that you would maybe watch me actually use on a live stream? Yes, thank you, Bob. Please remember to like, and if you are not subscribed, please do so. I would greatly appreciate it, because when I get to 50 subscribers, I will be able to do a live stream from my phone versus hooking up to an actual laptop. It's a little bit clunky. Hey, Jens, thank you for coming. That is so wonderful. It's going well. I should probably be heading your way to Texas this coming week. I'm staying in a tiny house right now to see how that goes for many reasons, for a review, as well as to get a feel for how the properties are set up for my own tiny house movement exploration. Really not much of a movement since I'm buying one, but if 50 grand versus this one, these, not this specific model, but these ones start at 60,000, and the climate control in here is just, it's not where I think it should be. So anyway, that is all of the review secrets I will give up for now. But thank you, everybody. I know, right? And just one more thing. Boxable. I am not being sponsored or anything. I've never been sponsored or given a deal aside from any other deal like on Instagram for a discount that anybody else is. Everybody is, these deals that I found, they're available to everyone is what I am saying. And so I've not been paid to say anything or anything like that. But yeah, Boxable, they're even going to be able to, well, they said reduce their cost with this mass manufacturing setup. And with the mass manufacturing, I mean, it's not very appealing to that in that case, but it just can't be built by hand the same, like to the same quality and specs and at a much cheaper price. So anyhow, Tess, it'll be fun that you are going to Texas. Yes, I've been to Texas many a times, but not the area where I am going. And thank you so much, Tess, for that. I appreciate that. And congratulations on finishing school. That is a huge accomplishment. And I'm sure you will be looking forward to May rolling around when that box can be completely checked. Done. Finito. All right, guys. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I so appreciate you. Glad I can build my own. Yeah. I wouldn't want to build my own personally, but yes. Okay, guys. I will see you in my next video. Will be the review of this tiny house resort. So I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. Let me know your thoughts later on in the comments. What type of live stream reviews would you want to see, if you don't mind? All right, everybody, have a great weekend, and we'll see you in my next video. Bye.